Imagine receiving a report that several people in a village have suddenly developed acute diarrhea after attending a community feast, or multiple school children develop fever and rash within a few days. As a public health professional, the first question you should ask is this an epidemic? An epidemic refers to the occurrence in a community or region of cases of an illness specific health related behavior or other health related events clearly in excess of normal expectancy. On the other hand, an outbreak usually refers to a sudden increase in cases that is restricted to a highly localized or confined geographic area, such as a school, hospital, village, hostel, workplace, or institution. In simple terms, every outbreak is an epidemic, but not every epidemic is called an outbreak. The term outbreak is generally preferred when the event is localized and affects a relatively small population. Whether we call it an epidemic or an outbreak, the principles of investigation remain exactly the same. The purpose of an epidemic investigation is not only to identify the disease but also to determine why it occurred, identify the source, understand how it is spreading, interrupt transmission, and prevent future cases. In this video, we'll learn the systematic 10-step protocol for epidemic investigation, the same approach followed by epidemiologists and public health professionals worldwide. Understanding an epidemic disease occurrence in any community depends on a delicate balance between the agent, host, and environment. An epidemic occurs when this balance is disturbed, resulting in the occurrence of disease in excess of the expected level. This imbalance may occur because the infectious agent becomes more virulent, the host population becomes more susceptible, or environmental conditions become favorable for disease transmission. The primary objective of an epidemic investigation is to identify the factors responsible for this imbalance and implement effective control measures as early as possible. The 10-step epidemic investigation protocol. The investigation follows a logical and systematic sequence. The first step is to verify the diagnosis. Before declaring an epidemic, ensure that the reported illness is actually the disease being suspected. Review the clinical findings, examine representative patients, and confirm the diagnosis using appropriate laboratory tests whenever possible. The next step is to confirm that an epidemic truly exists. Compare the observed number of cases with the number normally expected in that community during the same period. If the observed number is significantly higher than expected, an epidemic is likely to be present. The third step is to define the population at risk. Determine exactly who is susceptible to the disease. Identify the affected geographical area, age groups, occupations, schools, institutions, or communities. This helps estimate attack rates and identify high-risk groups. Next, begin an active search for cases. Develop a standard case definition and identify all suspected, probable, and confirmed cases. Good surveillance and active case finding form the backbone of every successful epidemic investigation. Once sufficient information has been collected, describe the epidemic by time, place, and person. Construct an epidemic curve to study the pattern of disease over time. Prepare spot maps to identify geographical clustering, analyze age, sex, occupation, and other demographic variables to identify the groups most affected. This descriptive epidemiology often provides valuable clues regarding the source and mode of transmission. Developing and testing the hypothesis. After completing the descriptive analysis, formulate one or more hypotheses. Ask yourself, what is the likely source of infection? How is the disease spreading? What environmental factors could explain the occurrence? The next step is to test these hypotheses. Compare attack rates among exposed and unexposed individuals. If necessary, conduct analytical epidemiological studies such as cohort studies or case control studies to identify the most likely source of infection. An epidemic investigation does not stop with identifying the source. A detailed environmental assessment is equally important. Inspect water sources, food preparation areas, sanitation facilities, waste disposal systems, vector breeding sites, and other environmental conditions that may have contributed to disease transmission. Many epidemics continue simply because the environmental source has not been corrected. Sometimes additional investigations become necessary. These may include laboratory confirmation, environmental sampling, microbiological testing, or molecular epidemiology. These investigations strengthen the evidence and help establish the exact cause of the epidemic. Reporting and control measures. The findings should then be documented in a comprehensive epidemic investigation report. The report should include the background, objectives, methods, descriptive and analytical findings, laboratory results, environmental observations, conclusions, and recommendations. Most importantly, immediate control measures should be implemented. These may include treatment of cases, isolation when necessary, vaccination, safe water supply, food recalls, vector control, health education, or strengthening surveillance depending on the disease involved. Remember, an epidemic investigation is successful only when disease transmission has been interrupted, not merely when the report has been completed. Continuous surveillance. The final step is continued surveillance. Even after the epidemic appears to be under control, continuous monitoring is essential. Ongoing surveillance helps detect new cases early, evaluate the effectiveness of control measures, and prevent future epidemics. This continuous cycle of surveillance, investigation, intervention, and evaluation forms the foundation of modern epidemiology. Let's quickly summarize the entire process. An epidemic refers to the occurrence of disease in excess of the expected level within a community or region, while an outbreak usually describes a localized epidemic affecting a limited geographical area. Both are investigated using the same systematic approach. The 10 steps include: verify the diagnosis, confirm the existence of an epidemic, define the population at risk, search actively for cases, describe the epidemic by time, place, and person, develop hypotheses, test the hypothesis, conduct environmental and additional laboratory investigations, prepare the investigation report, and implement control measures. Continue surveillance to prevent future epidemics. Following these steps ensures that epidemic investigations are scientific, systematic, and effective, ultimately protecting the health of the community. If this helped you understand epidemic and outbreak investigation more clearly, hit like, subscribe for more easy to understand public health and epidemiology videos, and leave a comment telling me which epidemiological topic or public health investigation you'd like me to explain next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.